My ring just fucking flew off. Ugh, let's start there. Welcome back to Let's Clone. My name would be Stephen French, and this is part 3 of Minesweeper. I hope you all had a fantastic new year, and hopefully this will be, it'll be kind of short and sweet, and we'll get it done. The goal of this part is to color the numbers inside of the cells, which will be a little bit more in line with how the game is displayed, to be able to set flags. I believe last time we made it so we can't click flags, but we couldn't actually place them, and display our time and number of flag counts on the top corners, something that's really simple and kind of useless, at least in my opinion. And then the more complicated chunk is going to be a recursive script or recursive function that clears or trickles all of the zero cells. When you click one, they should all eliminate, and the perimeter cells that indicate the numbers should, all of those cells should go. So we'll do all that. We're going to start off with the easy ones first. So we want to start off with our controller object. We're going to go down to our draw and I guess room frame. That's where I called it before. We're going to do that. We're going to draw time count. And let's see, I think this one is on the top left. So I'm going to draw a texticle. And we're going to do this at, let me see, I think we wanted room width times 0.25, so a quarter into the room. This doesn't matter too much. Coming down, we're going to go into the middle of the header, so it's going to be our offset. These are all capitals. Offset border. Oh my god, all capitals again. Offset border plus offset header divided by 2. So this is going to be at 24 pixels because our border is 8, our offset header is 16 or 32, but half that's going to be 16, 24. Excuse me. And our string that we're going to pass is, what did I call this? Game time? Is it game time? I think it's game time. We'll double check before we actually run. Then here we're going to draw our flag count. Draw text. This time we're going to do the room width multiplied by 0.75, so in the latter quarter. Oh, puppy right outside my window, making the meows. This will be again by the offset border plus offset header divided by 2. And this one we will do number of flags. I cannot recall if I made those variables with capitals or not. So, alright, we actually don't have number of flags, so we're going to add that in there. Number of flags, I'm going to keep them small just because. That's just what I was doing before. And then I called the other one game runtime, so we're going to grab that. My bad, my bad. So draw right here. So game runtime and number of flags with a lowercase. Really quick, just pop that game up so we can see that they're in the right spot. Good, we've got a counter, we've got our flags, right click doesn't do anything yet, and that was actually not what I was planning on doing next, but that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to go down to our step. We did a function for our left click. I didn't do this with multiple pieces in my other one, but we will for this one. I think it'll clean it up a little bit. So right click, where did I put this? All right, we're going to have a variable. I don't know why I did that. The cell is equal to, is this an instance place? Instance position? What did I do? I'm clicking on it, so I'm going to try instance position. How many things I got there? So we got mouse X, mouse Y, object cell. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So I need to know if the cell does not equal no one, meaning that we've actually clicked on a cell and not everywhere else. Ooh, move that piece of paper up. If, how did I pull that off? Cell.image index is equal to 0, meaning that is just an empty cell. Then we're going to do something. And then we're going to say else if cell.image index is equal to 1. So 0 being, if you look back into our Sprel site, this is how cell sprite, you should have 0 being empty, 1 being a flag, 2 being a bomb. Get out of this. So then we're going to do cell image oh, sub dot, I'm sorry. Dot image index is equal to 1. And number of flags plus plus. So if we successfully set a flag, we're going to count it. And if we don't, we're going to not. If we remove one away, then we're going to subtract it. That, I'm almost, else if, yeah, that should be everything. So we'll do that really, really quick. Test in every step, because I tend to make a bunch of mistakes, as you've probably noticed throughout the whole damn series. Oh, okay. My bad. We didn't account for if we actually do a right click. Real stupid of me. If, we don't have a player thing, so mouse, check, button, press, with 2 S's, mouse button right. We're gonna come all the way going down, and cool. And just in case somebody doesn't know this, if you highlight a bunch of rows and tab, you can tab all of them, and shift tab will bring them all back. Just kind of helps me save some time. We'll do set/remove flags. Now we'll test it because I'm really good at making errors. The bug lord. Good, so we've got a room that we can reset, we can play, we can set flags, and you can't click the flag. Zeros, ones, zeros, ones, zeros, and ones, zeros, and ones. Oh, that was risky. All right, so right here we know this is bomb because that is a 1 and it's only touching one corner. So I can flag that and then I can click it, nothing happens. If I unflag and click it, we knew it was bomb, we're golden. Now, the next piece is going to be a bit of an aesthetic piece as well. We have draw cell values, which is, yes, where we draw, and oh neat, I already have that in a loop so I can kind of overlook something that I got. So we're looping through our X across our columns and our Y down our rows, and we only want to draw them if, like right now we're drawing everything, so we're drawing even the zeros. We don't want to draw those. So we're going to say if grid at accessor position x, x, y, y is greater than or equal to 0, because we want to draw everything, no, greater than 0, I'm sorry. We don't want to draw zeros, we're going to draw everything else. So if that is the business, we actually want to draw shift and, yeah. So no matter what, come on back, just use that same line. If it is greater than or equal to, sorry, we're going to draw colored values. Good. If it's greater than 0, draw the text. But we do need a switch statement, and we're going to switch with our grid at those coordinates. Okay, oh, what did I do? X, X, Y, Y. Now, a switch statement is a lot like nested if statements or else if statements, where we can run a case, and we're going to say, like, in case 1, oh, sorry, this should not be a semicolon, it should be a colon, and then we're going to run a break line, so it doesn't continue to check anything after. So if the case is equal to 1, I have all the colors kind of written out for me. I'm going to draw set color. Now you can use color or color. Only real difference is down here. If you do color and you are inside of the parentheses, it'll say that it needs to be passed a color. If you do color, for some reason, it does not, and it doesn't make a difference. I just do that. But we're going to do C blue. GameMaker didn't have all the colors that Minesweeper usually follows, but I found colors that are close enough without having to type in my own RGB values. Right, so we have 8 possible numbers. Well, there's 8 sides around it. 0 doesn't matter because we're not going to draw anything. So 1, 2, yeah, if it's touching all of them, it'll be touching 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to change the numbers first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feel free again to make these colors anything that you want. Let's see, what do we have? 2 is green. Blue, nope. 3 we have as red. We have 4 as purple. 5 would be maroon. Ha, maroon 5. 6 would be teal. 7 is going to be black. And 8 is gray. Let's give that a little bit of a test. Now this should have appropriately colored numbers. We're drawing our time and our flag count, which you can see goes up when we actually click them. There's a bomb right off the bat. We got a blue one, bunch of blue ones, getting risky with it. A green two, that will eventually cascade. So like now that you see that those are all zeros, clicking anything around it. In the next step that we're gonna do, clicking any of those zeros would have presented all of this to happen. Close our program from running. Well, shit, now we only have the really annoying part. We need to write a script. So we're gonna come into our scripts, ser underscore clear cells. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, same thing, clear cells, but we're gonna give it 2 parentheses. We're gonna give it an X and a Y. Come into our controller object first, as we wanna put this in the right spot. This is a left click. Here I did code in part 3, that is this part, and we did a little temporary code where we just destroyed the cell. So we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna pass our cell. Now, this is saying that if our position at XXYY is equal to 0, then we're gonna pass this script. Since we put, where'd it go? Since we put in the comments, we actually did the XXYY, then just like our draw color, we get a little bit of I guess, a description or a little helper as to what we put in. I think that's kind of neat, super helpful. So we're gonna pass our XX and our YY. And we're passing them instead of just utilizing them, because if we run the code here, we could use those variables, the XX and YY, but we want this to be recursive, and we want to be able to expand outside of the scope of what we just clicked. So we're going to, where did I start? All right, so we're gonna make a couple variables, temporary variables, underscore XX, which maybe I shouldn't use because I'm using it there. I mean, you can, if you redefine it, it'll be fine. We're just gonna do an underscore X is equal to argument 0. You can see argument is red, so it's something that GameMaker provides to us. Never actually took the time to read into it. I just understood how it worked. Essentially, when you pass a bunch of parameters, they get stored into an array called argument. I don't know what happens if you try to pass, like say, like argument 3, and there's only 2 arguments, so you only have 0 and 1. I don't know what happened there, but just pay attention to that. I think the size of the array will be set to however many you pass it, and I think because of that, you could, like I could use this for collision events that we've done in other games, where you could pass a whole array of various objects that you want that object to be able to collide with, and then run this code looping through how many, or whatever the size of the array is. That is my guess, and I'm going to try to use it for one of the future projects. Argument 1, and then we need a temporary variable for the cell, which is the same convoluted code that we've used for everything else. Is this an instance position or an instance place? I'm going to think it's an instance place. Why didn't I get that part figured out before? Instance place at our special X. Nope. Special X times cell size plus offset border. Then we have our special Y times cell size plus our offset header plus our offset border times 2. Correct. We have object cell. Now it seems that we never use offset header without including offset border times 2. That is why in the original project that I made for this, I made the offset header. I made it 32. I made it 48, so I made it the size of the header and the size of both of the borders. Should have done it this time through as well, but I didn't notice until later. So we're just gonna keep it the way that it is. We have a cell, and it is the one that we are focused on at our XY position. We're going to immediately destroy it because this is only happening if we pass a 0, so we know that that cell can be destroyed. We don't need to run any further checks. So if cell does not equal to no one, then with cell instance destroy. I've mentioned before, you can use parentheses here. Usually in if statements are in parentheses and with statements are in parentheses. When it's all one line, I kind of like how it looks without it, so I ignore it. And here we're going to do now our big, our direction check for everything. This is super convoluted. This also takes into account how to avoid this out of bounds error, because we're actually going to be paying attention to that. I might try something silly. I might try to do this in a way that I didn't do it in my old game. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to copy paste everything and read you through it. But expect some bugs because it's my thing. Oh, why did I do that? Check neighbors. Ask for sugar. We're going to do top left. Actually, I'm just going to make this in more like a pseudocode so I can copy paste a whole bunch of times, and then I'll have kind of that pseudocode as a reminder of, oh, I didn't finish this one yet. Ways to avoid fucking up with, help me out here. Help me out here. Copy paste. There it is. I ruin this shit all the time. Our special X. Now this is either going to be +1, -1, or 0, depending on where we're at. I think we can avoid checking for if any of them are zeros, but that's besides the point. So that is greater than or equal to 0, and underscore y is greater than or equal to 0, and our grid at special x and special y is, well, equal to 0. So if all of that reads true, then we're going to create an index. Now this part is one that I was thinking about doing it in a different way, but I'll just do it the way that I think works. We're going to create a new pointer at another cell. Variable next cell is equal to instance position. I don't know why I have it as position, but this is going to be our special x, and then it'll be ±. So this will actually read. I'm gonna do this here, and I kind of advise that you do the same. I'm doing ±. This isn't a code that that will run. This would definitely break, but I want that. Again, this is our little live action debugging. So that plus y, where the hell am I? Times, I'll keep this all close so it's gonna be long. Cell size plus, across it also, offset border. Then we're gonna have our special y ± times cell size plus offset header plus offset border times 2, and this is another object. Whoa, not a period. Object cell. Why do I keep capitalizing the wrong dang letters? We're going to say, give me the correct view. If next cell does not equal no one, then we're going to pass this script again. This is what it means to be recursive, or I guess you call it redundant. Clear cell at, this is our new x ± and our new y ±. Cool. Why didn't I write the rest of the code? I forgot to write the next part in my notes, so I'm just going to steal it from my other code else and change it around wherever I need to. So we're gonna, let's see, if the position that we're at, so the cell that we're on, we've just destroyed. Every time the script runs, it's going to destroy the cell that has been passed in its parameters. We're going to check all of the adjacent cells. If one of the adjacent cells is also equal to 0, we need to recursively call this method again, so that way you can destroy that new one and then look again at those parameters, or those adjacent pieces. And that's why we're doing this, if the check for our special position or our expected position is equal to 0, we're going to give access to that cell and destroy it. If it is not equal to 0, so it's going to be anything else, we know that since the core cell that we're looking at is a 0, it can't be adjacent to a bomb, or else it wouldn't be a 0. So we don't have to check for any bombs. So we just know that either it is a 0 or it's a number greater than 0. If it's 0, destroy it and keep checking. If it is a number greater than 0, we want to destroy it, and that's it. But since this is my old code, I'm going to just change some of these around because they wouldn't make sense otherwise. Then here I had y offset, and that included my header and my border times 2. We don't want that anymore. And then we're going to destroy that instance. Now, this is why I want, like right now it's going to read an error because we have all these plus minuses in there, code that doesn't actually work. but we kind of need it. Oh, why did I do that? So copy, paste. I'm sorry, I'm making all of these goofs. I'm just highlighting everything. So we have, I need 8 of them. So that's going to be for our top left, for our top right, for our left, for our right, for our bottom left, for our bottom, and for our bottom right. So now I know that I have enough of them, but riddled with errors, and we will know that if we type everything incorrectly, we'll get it to read true, and we have to correct all of them. That's why these are deliberate bugs. So I do this a lot with copy and paste, where I'll paste all of them that I need, but I'll paste workable code, and if I forget one of those sections, then I have more of a logic error, because everything is going to compile. I'm just not going to get the expected results. So now I'd rather just the code not work unless I'm ready for it to work. So we're checking our top left. So it's going to be our x minus 1 and our y minus 1. And this is going to be really tedious, so I encourage you to either follow along directly as I'm going, or just wait until everything's done, or if you really don't care to do it, then open up the project file and go with that. So, but everywhere that we make the change, we've got to make the change everywhere else. We never have to reach that far to the side. Minus 1, minus 1. Why am I? Oh, that's gonna suck. I typed that wrong on all of them. Let me just go back and fix that real quick. I don't want to have to deal with that every time though. That's the wrong kind of bug. Where are you? How did I fucking do that? All right. So here we are checking our top left, and everything is at minus 1, minus 1. Perfect, looking good there. So here, we're gonna check just our top. Now, we know that, like, since the x doesn't need to move, that doesn't matter. We can omit that, or you can just check that x is greater than or equal to 0. Your call, include it or not. But we're gonna do our y minus 1. X is good. Y minus 1. Here, x is good. Here, this is gonna be really, really redundant. All right, and oh motherfucker. Okay, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Meme review. All right, another little thing that I goofed, because copy paste will continue to kill me, is when I grabbed my old code, I was using XXYY. That will definitely be a logic error because we have access to an underscore YY in the other code. So I'm making sure that this one is not that. And I just got to check the same spot. Okay. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to flesh all this out, and I'm going to get it correct, and then I'm going to put up all the code on the screen. I'll just speed through this, and then I'll put up the code, and you can pause the video and compare and contrast yours. Essentially, when you get one of them done, it's just trickle all the way down doing the same stuff. All right, so I'm going to get ahead and work on that. A big old party, got a lot of +1s. +1, and there we are. I want to test that this works really quick. Not set before reading, clear cell 6. If cell is not equal, no one with cell instance destroy. How the fuck that up? Another quick little my bad, I'm not sure what happened. I had an issue on line 7, it was 6, I didn't have the title at the time. For some reason it was telling me that cell was not initiated, and I just copied the other project's code and it worked. I think it was identical. I might just type something wrong. Either way, these are the first 2 lines. Make sure you got those in check. So we have our cell, same thing. I didn't change anything, I just redid it and it worked. Yeah, so these are all of the working bits. So we have for the top left, top right, left, right, bottom left, bottom, and bottom right. So freeze. Ooh. Yeah. Pause here if you want to double check everything from your top left down to just the left cell. And freeze here if you want to check everything from the right cell to all of the bottom row. Yeah, pause that, check it out, make sure you're going. It's pretty simple in that if it's left, it's -1, or if it's up, it's -1, and if it's right or down, it's +1. Other than that, it just stays the same. But let's go into our game. I did another one of these for visibility. Open it up, see how it works, finish this video up. So we have our game, we have our counter. I'm gonna reset that. We got a 1, we got a bomb, nice. Let's see if we can finish a game really quick. So that cleared out everything. Recursive function, at least mine, works perfectly well. We're gonna flag the ones that we know are bombs so we can't accidentally click them, and then go through and click everything else. It's good because we can actually like finally play this game. So this one is requiring a 2, it's only touching 1 more, so it's that. That's next to a 1, so that is fine. That's already touching 2, so that is fine. That was a solid clear. That one is good. Now, I'm only flagging the ones that I know are bombs, and I know that in the small frame also know, because I made it, that there's only 10 bombs, so I can use that to my advantage. We don't have a win condition yet. We can try to do that really quick. Now, here, we got a 3, only touching 3, so we know that it's all of those. We gotta play a bit of a guessing game now, because I don't know of any tactics that will prove to me which is which. Alright, it can't be both of these, because here's a 2 touching 1, and it can only touch 1 more. So it can't be both of these, it has to be one of these or the other, but it cannot be both. This needs to be touching 2, so it needs to be touching one of these, and definitely that point. This one needs to be touching that point, so this one cannot be a bomb. Good job, Steven. We only have 1 more bomb. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 will be touching that, and boom. We've got to win. Let's really quickly add our win condition. I'm going to try to do it just by memory what I think happens. So we have a left click, a right click, and we're going to have a win condition. We're going to say if, let's see, what variables do I have access to now? I have number of flags, that doesn't matter. I need number of cells. We're going to try it like this. For our win condition, we're going to say if instance number of object cell is equal to our number of mines. Did I spell number of mines right? Why am I checking that? Number mines. I did number bombs in the last one. So if our number of remaining cells is equal to our number of mines, obviously if we hit a mine, we've already ended the game. So we're going to say, fuck, I don't remember how I worded these. In progress is equal to false. I'm going to say image index is equal to 3 is my guess. We have 0, 1, 2, and 3 is equal to 3. Cool, let's try to win one more time. See if our win condition works. That should set the face to blue, and we should no longer be able to click anything. If all goes well, we might still be able to right click things, because I think I put that since it's in its own function. Of course. Come on, give me a good start. There we go. We've got those, we've got that one, and that one. Nice guy. We need both of those. We got that, we got that. We've got that, we don't need that. We don't know, I don't know. That one we need, this one we can't be, that one can't be, there, and there. That one's good. 2, 1. One of these is a bomb. That's already touching both, so it's got to be that guy. Nice. Now I think, yeah, I can still set flags, which, you know what, we're going to keep that because it doesn't fucking matter if you can change it to a flag or not. And normally in Minesweeper, I don't think you can play with the flags after. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it. But that is it. We now have a fully functional, fully playable version. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Sorry for the delay. New Year's, all that shit kind of happened. Yeah, part 3 Minesweeper is done. In the next part, we're going to be setting it up so we can play on a small, medium, or a large board. And I think that's it. If there's any interest in doing like a score keeping, like, because really your only score, I guess, is like your amount of time. So if you want to do like a ladder board or a local save, like your best score type of time, I can figure that out. I can make a part 5 for this, but I'm not going to put in that effort unless anybody's truly interested in it. If not, I'll be working on the next clone so we can start getting some more tutorials out. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your 2019. Let's see you already. Peace.